There are many ways funeral home neglect can occur. The most common way is the mishandling of a corpse. Another way is not burying a person in accordance with the family's wishes. If you believe funeral home neglect has occurred, you should consult an attorney. These cases are handled on a contingency fee basis and get some guidance as to what your rights are as a result of the situation that you've been involved in. The most common causes of funeral home neglect are the mishandling of a corpse, dropping a corpse. I've seen situations where caskets have fallen into the grave. There have been situations where the corpse was not properly prepared. I've had situations where the funeral home has buried the wrong body. I've had situations where the funeral home did not get the consent of the next of kin and buried the person not in accordance with the next of kin's wishes. In funeral home negligence cases, usually the funeral home is the one who is ultimately responsible. Also could be the funeral director. Sometimes it's a cemetery or somebody else who is involved in the process of arranging for the wake or the funeral. Funeral home negligence cases result in several types of damages. One cause of action is known as loss of sepulcher, which is when the next of kin is deprived of the right of burying a body in accordance with their wishes or the deceased person's wishes. That dates back to the common law and is specific to funeral home negligence cases. Another type of damage for funeral home negligence cases is breach of contract, because ultimately a contract occurs between the person retaining a funeral home, a crematorium, whoever it is that they're retaining, and the services are performed in accordance with that contract. Another type of damage is negligence, pain and suffering that occurs. So we usually allege negligence when we are suing a funeral home or a funeral director for funeral home neglect, hence neglect and negligence. And in some egregious cases where the conduct and the behavior is so bad, we'll allege punitive damages. And that is a cause of action designed specifically to punish the funeral home for such bad behavior. Rizzuto Law Firm has handled funeral home negligence cases for over 25 years. The attorneys in this firm have over 100 years of combined experience in suing funeral homes and funeral directors for their mishandling of the deceased bodies and causing injury to the families. Clients come to us in several ways. A lot of clients are referred by their friends or people they know. A lot of clients come to us because they are referred by other attorneys, and a lot of clients find us online. However they come to us, the reason they hire us is because of our experience. We are responsive, we make them feel comfortable, and we gain their trust. Our current and our past clients would say our firm fights hard. We fight hard from the beginning. We keep them informed throughout the process. We are responsive to their needs. When they call or they email, we get back to them immediately. And when they call the office, they will always speak to a live person. And I find a lot of people appreciate that as opposed to having to dial in through voicemail. Client communication, especially in personal injury cases, is essential. And it is the key to succeeding in any one of these cases and every one of these cases. Because in order for us to succeed in doing our job, the client has to know what's going on. The client has to know what's expected of them. And we do that. We tell the clients from the initial intake what the process is, what we expect of them, and what they should expect from us. The Rizzuto Law Firm is a small firm, but we're not a solo firm. We have several attorneys that work here. All the attorneys are capable of handling cases from intake through trial. We've all tried cases. We're all capable of trying cases, and the insurance companies know that we are a litigation firm and we will go to trial if we're not presented with a fair offer. The advantage of hiring a firm like us is Every person in the firm, whether it's the support staff or the attorneys, is virtually familiar with every case that's in our office. We have a case management system that we can all access in order to answer any questions if a client calls and the person who is assigned to the file is unavailable. One other main advantage of hiring our firm and a firm of this size, but specifically our firm, is that our staff has worked together for a long time. We've had attorneys here for over 20 years that started when they were in law school. We've had support staff that have been here 15, 20, and over 25 years. When a client comes to us for an initial consultation in a funeral home neglect case, we explain to them the process from intake up until a resolution. We will detail the specific causes of action that are available to them and who the potential people are that can sue for funeral home negligence, because it's not only limited to one specific person. There are times where several family members can also make the claim, and we want the person who is consulting the firm to be aware of that and also to pass that on to their family members. We'll explain to them what we need to do in order to prove a case. We explain to the clients what is expected from them in order to help us move the case forward quickly and to get them as much of a recovery as possible. And we also will explain to the clients what they can expect from us and the staff at the Rizzuto Law Firm in pursuing their action.